guys, it's Kirsten Liebelt. It's Friday. We love Fridays. Jump on in, grab your coffee, grab your tea. I've got my water with my aminos. What are you guys drinking today? So, happy Valentine's Day weekend. I'm wearing red for you. Happy Valentine's Day weekend. How are you guys doing? Do you guys have anything planned at all? I went out to dinner with my honey pie last night. It was amazing. I just love going out for a really good steak. It makes me just really happy. So that's what we did. And then there's a movie playing this weekend that I think we're going to go see. It was put out by Angel Studios and it has Kevin James in it. Do you guys know who Kevin James is? He was in like King of Queens, and it's a rom-com. And I thought, we just don't do that like hardly ever. So I'm like, maybe we should go to a movie too. And so we might do that. But anyway, my name is Kirsten Liebelt. It is so good to see you guys today. Every day, Monday through Friday, we come and we talk about insulin resistance. I help women over 40 who are insulin resistant get unstuck, because insulin resistance is like the key that most women are looking for. This is the conversation that most every single female either is having or needs to be having. And so, hi, let's be friends. That's how we do this. So I'm in Minnesota. And I was raised in an Italian family where food was love and love was food. And you ate when you were happy and you ate when you were sad. And we just had so much obesity and type 2 diabetes. It really, really was my entrenched world. And my dad died at 63. And I'll just tell you that, it's interesting how your life can just kind of take a path that you didn't see coming, like at all. And that's me. That's me. And so when I finally started to deal with my own life, because I had to, because I was in my early 50s, I was right around 50 years old. I was a 2X in size. I was a major hot mess express. And I mean, brain fog, constantly saying things to Carrie, my husband. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Couldn't lose a pound to save my life. I mean, probably a lot of the things that you have also asked yourself and or dealt with. And here we go. This is my 2X in size. This is where I was when I was 50. But that was my whole life. And literally until now, until I'm 61 now, until I figured out what I teach you every single day, and that is I have targeted supplementations I talk to you about, but then I talk to you about food ingredient trade-outs, and we're going to do a little bit of that today. We're going to talk about good, better, best treats for Valentine's Day. So stick around. Don't go anywhere if you're a treat person. Once I figured out how to do what I now do and teach, I feel like I have the answer for the rest of my life. I'm just telling you, that's how it goes. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you. Terry's a huge testimony of everything that I teach. So Terry she was 62. She was 62 when she lost 50 pounds. In fact, I have a before and after of Terry. Can I show them your before and after, Terry? I'll ask you permission. But Terry's story is, because she's on here, and it's just amazing. Terry's story is that she lost 50 pounds. She weighs less than she did 30 years ago. She got off of a fibromed. She's kept it off for over a year, which I think is the biggest piece of the puzzle. Good morning, Patty. Good morning, Barb. Terry says, sure. Thanks, Terry, because you could say no. I just want you to know nobody has to feel beholden. But I happen to have it right here with my before pictures. I have a Terry's. So this is Terry. And then she had said, these are my own before and after pics since I started sugar-free, grain-free, and high protein, followed by targeted supplementation. That's the total body reset and food trade-outs. This was after almost 8 months. So she's gone on now to kept this off for over a year. And she just said that this content has helped change her life and her health and her relationship with food. So this is Terry's before and after. There we go. I'll try to get that up there for both of you. I'll come back to you, Instagram. Hold on. I want to get it, whatever. So that's Terry. And she ended up losing over the course of her stint 50 pounds at 62 years old. So do not tell me this is about age. Do not have that don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you. Hi, Jackie. Terry says she wants to encourage everyone. I know you do, Terry. I appreciate that about you. I really do, because not everybody feels that way, right? But I'll tell you, when you take back your health like that at our ages, game on. What can't we accomplish? It just freaking fires me up. So I was a 2X in size and I needed to do something. I was pre-diabetic and I was on the exact same track that my dad was on. He took his entire decade of his 50s and he increased his medications and his doses, and then he was dead at 63. And he just felt like crap most all the time. Dialysis, surgeries, like it was just a constant stream of medical intervention until he was gone. And literally 6 months before he was gone, my mom, I was living out in the Black Hills of South Dakota. And my kids were 6, 3, and 6 months old. They were little. And it was April. And my mom, I was on the phone with my mom and she said, your dad's heart is at about 15%. So we made the decision in July to come home as a family. So we came home as a family, 3 kids in tow. And I will never forget sitting down at the kitchen table with my dad, the Rambler that I had grown up in, they were still living in. And sitting down at the kitchen table, and I just put my hand on his arm because he was gray. He was gray. His heart was 15%, maybe less by then. And, but he wasn't hospitalized. And then that was on a Monday. We probably came in Sunday night or something. Then that was Monday morning. Tuesday night, we had a gathering, the family, we had a party. Listen, you're Italian, you're going to have a party and you're going to have a lot of food. And so a lot of people came over. I don't know if it was for a birthday. It might've been. And we had a huge family gathering, lots of food, amazingness. We're staying there at their house because we're now living out in the Black Hills of South Dakota. And Wednesday, he went and had dialysis again. And he came home, and Wednesday night, he was throwing up in the toilet. And which had become common because dialysis was messing with him, right? Every other day, he would, for 2 years. 2 years. Why do you think I come on here every freaking day? It's just, honestly, you guys, the fallout from diabetes, this is no joke. Anyway, so he would go to dialysis, he would throw up, and then the next day he'd feel better. And then he would go to dialysis, he'd throw up, and then the next day he would feel better. So Wednesday night he's throwing up, and I wasn't at the bathroom door, but my sister was. And she has told me that she stood there and he looked at her and he said, this is no way to live. 63 years old. Terry's 63. I'm 61. Anyway. And then the next day, I remember going to Kohl's and buying a jumper outfit because he always taught me to shop everything on sale. And so I did. And I remember coming home and I said, hey, Dad, look at what I bought. And I tried it on. He's like, oh, it looks really great. Did you buy it? Was it on sale? And I said, yeah, it was on sale. And he goes, did you buy 2? And I go, no, I didn't buy 2. But he's like, yeah, that's really cute. They look good in that, whatever. And then Friday morning, he went to dialysis at the Methodist Hospital here in Minneapolis. And after his dialysis session, he went to the cafeteria and he signed a blank check to pay for his lunch. And he died right there sitting in his chair. His heart was like, and we're done. Of course, they tried to revive him, all of that stuff, but it was to no avail. And that was his story. And it just didn't have to be. It is, to me, the most criminal story ever on the face of the planet over something that was never meant to be terminal. We should not have this thought process that, oh, well, we're just going to have to be medicated the rest of our lives. That's what they want us to believe. And we have to fight back. We have to actually, it's not going to just come to us. The strategy, these supplements, the total body reset, it's not going to show up at your door. Nobody's going to just do things for you. You have to grab it. You have to take it for yourself and say, I'm not doing this anymore. And I feel like that's what Terry did. She can speak for herself, but I feel like that's what she did. She was like, I'm done. I'm done. And she lost 50 pounds. She's the most consistent testimony ever. Like, she's amazing. She's done like 21 challenges inside the group, all the things. Point being that once you give yourself permission, you can do this too. And you can decide you're not going to live like, maybe there's somebody in your life that impacted you like my dad impacted me. Because I was like, that was a really crappy thing to watch for the last 10 years of his life. Like, that was all of my 20s. From 20 to 30. I watched him just go like this. I'm having babies. I'm living in another state. And he's just going downhill. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, people? And they haven't given us better answers than that for 50 years. What are we doing? So I feel like I should like pause and we should all like take a, I don't know. Should we all take a breath mint and just relax for a minute? I don't even know. Mary, good morning, Mary. Deborah, good to see you. It's so fun to see everybody say hi to each other. You guys are amazing. You're still waiting, Peggy. I just don't understand, Peggy. Let me reach out to you again after we talk, after I'm done from here. What has been your best benefits, Peggy, from changing your ways? What has been your best benefits? I would love to know so far. I know you've struggled, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong. I know you've struggled like maybe with some consistency just because, you know, I don't know. And I could have you mixed up with somebody else too, so correct me. But like going out of town and stuff and things like that can be challenging. But let's do this though. Oh, you're so sweet, Julie. I'm good. Lee, oh my goodness, I've missed you. You're still recovering from the flu. What in the world, you guys? That's terrible. Sherry, do I look beautiful in red? Happy Valentine's Day. I know, it's so exciting. It's gonna be like 55 here tomorrow. So I don't even need anything other than just that in Minnesota. Like, I'm so happy. It's not even funny. It's so exciting. But let's go ahead and dive into this because, you know, especially people like Peggy and stuff, it's like, listen, if I can give you any tips, if I can give you any tricks, if I can help you tweak at all what you're trying to accomplish, that is what my goal is. Very, very much so. And so one of the things that I know that we have a really hard time with, and Maria Emmerich does a good job about bringing this up to people, just helping people to recognize that just because something is marketed to you as low carb or wise for, you know, blood sugar friendly or whatever, doesn't mean that it's smart. It doesn't mean that it's smart at all. And it can be very frustrating because we feel like we're doing good. And Peggy, I don't think this is you at all. So just know that. But sometimes we feel like we are towing the line or whatever. We're trying so hard. And maybe, especially when it comes to treats, and with Valentine's Day, this is why I'm bringing this up, we can really mess ourselves up and make ourselves go backwards. And we don't like that, right? So this is just kind of the way that it is. So good, better, best kind of desserts for insulin resistance are little treats that you could be grabbing over the weekend or just to celebrate or whatever that aren't going to mess you up, but the ones that kind of will too. Just so that you know, I want you to have an idea because there's a reason why I don't share with you the latest keto find at the store or the latest, I mean, I don't mean to bring up brands all the time or whatever, but whatever. I'm not showing you the latest Quest bar that I'm eating or the latest cake mix that I'm buying or, You'll notice I'm never talking to you about sugar-free pudding from the store. It's total trash. There's a reason, and it's because I've kind of really sat at the feet of people like a Maria Emmerich, who has said, listen, if you really want to get results, you're going to have to stop living on the fringes, and you're going to have to batten down the hatches a little bit, because the marketing has been so strong in our ears and in our head. So we see things that say low carb, net carb, keto, whatever, and we're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to eat that. And listen, I did it all. If you think I didn't do all of this, I mean, I did more than everybody else, because I was always looking for a path in to hang on to whatever, instead of just realizing that I could recreate it and be just as happy, if not more. But I didn't know that at the beginning. So just because something says that it's sugar-free doesn't mean that it's insulin friendly. Okay. And so if anybody likes sugar, you're a sugar person, this one is for you big time. Okay. And just because it says keto doesn't mean your body agrees. Okay. There are like levels to treat. So some are inflammatory, some are deceptive, and some are actually strategic. All right. So the worst ones, let's just get past the worst ones right away. Okay. So these are the ones that are marketed as safe. They're safe, or they're friendly, right? Now, any candy that is based with maltitol, AKA like Russell Stover's, okay, even Lindt, Lindt, actually, are they maltitol or are they? I'd have to think about it, because every now and then, because I do things. I'm not saying I don't do things. I'm just very strategic about when I do them and how I do them. Every once in a while, we go to the Mall of America, and there is a Lindt store. Do you guys know what Lindt chocolates are? Lindt. Do you guys know what those are? They're really good creamy chocolates, let me tell you. And at Christmas time, you can go, you walk in the store and they give you a bag like this that's empty. And you go to all of the bins of all of those individually wrapped truffles and candies and whatever, and you fill up the bag, and people are gorging on Lindt chocolate. They're handing you samples as you walk in the door because they know it's so good, right? They have, I think, 2 in the whole store that are little teeny tiny squares of no sugar added chocolate. And if you followed me for a long time, you've seen me post them in my stories, because I know that these are not wisdom, but they're a pretty decent, like, it's fine. It's not something I eat all the time at all, maybe a couple times a year. So I'm good with that, right? Like, I make my choices too, but it's like, you can't be buying something like that by the bag and thinking that it's wisdom, which I don't know that any of you are, but I'm just telling you. And plus it might like give you diarrhea. So you have to be a little careful with that. However, maltitol has a high glycemic index, 35 to 52, depending on the source. It raises your blood sugar almost like sugar. I'm sorry. I know. If you've been eating anything, and go check your ingredients now, maltitol raises your sugar almost just like blood sugar, or just like regular sugar. Massive digestive distress. It's really stinky, literally. I'm just saying, it's like very, very gastric problems, right? Bloating, diarrhea. If you eat too much, like, you just want one piece, that's it. And then you just need to stop. Often stalls fat loss in insulin resistant women. Okay. So you're not cheating, but your insulin thinks you are. That's kind of how that goes. So it doesn't mean that you can never, it just means like, this should not be a staple of, oh, I found the sugar-free aisle, because it's not going to serve you well. Don't worry. I'm going to give you some better ideas as we go. I'm going to actually solve this for you. So hold on. Your Lindt. I know. What is the sugar in there? The sweetener. Let me look at it. They are good. I will go, when I go, I buy 2 of them. And I don't even get out the door, and I've eaten them. They're so good. I shouldn't say that. Usually it's because we're at the Mall of America. So right by the railing, I just stand there. I'm like, everybody just pause for a minute. I'm going to eat my chocolate. Lints, no sugar added. I'm going to look it up. Not Lily's. Nope, they took me down a road that wasn't proper. Here's Lint USA. Okay. They're not making it super easy, so I might not be able to find it very easily. I'll do one more search, and if nothing else, I will just move on here. No sugar added. Okay, here it is. Now, these are bars. I didn't even know they sold them in bars. This is not good information for me. I've only ever had little teeny tiny pieces at the store. Okay, hold on. No sugar added. Nutrition. Okay, ingredients. Here we go. Here we go. Maltitol. First ingredient. Maltitol. And then cocoa butter, milk, chocolate, milk, fat, soy lecithin, artificial flavor. So it tastes amazing. Like it's freaking amazing. Probably one of my favorite, sugar-free products. But, so a bar is 2 servings. If you cut it in half and you had half, it would be 10 total carbs. It's not the end of the world, but you will probably have a little tummy upset. Potentially, right? It's just the way that it is. So let's keep moving. So you love the Lint and usually just Christmas. I know, Linda. It's a good one. Good morning, Phyllis from Arkansas. Good to see you. Denise watching from New Zealand. Losing excess weight, but no snacking and not eating processed products. Way to go. Well, nice to meet you from New Zealand. I just have friends all over the world. That's amazing, Denise. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so let's move forward. I have to remember something here. Let me write down. I got to write a note. Uno momento, por favor. Okay, very good. Okay, so that's maltitol. All right, now let's go talk about Carb Smart ice cream for just a second, okay? Breyers is the brand, Carb Smart ice cream. This is just an example. Often contains maltitol or sorbitol, polydextrose, artificial sweeteners, inflammatory seed oils. Low carb does not mean low insulin response. So you just have to know your marketing a little bit, okay? And again, I'll give you some solutions here. But Carb Smart ice cream, if I buy Carb Smart ice cream, which maybe once last year, it's because I could not find, I was frustrated. It's not very often that I go out and buy ice cream. But I used to be able to easily go and buy like a little pint of Rebel, which, is just a better choice. I think I can't remember the sweetener in it, but and for some reason, it just was not available to me like normal. So I did buy some Carb Smart. We were celebrating something. I don't know. And so I did that. And I just am mindful that I don't keep that in my freezer. I don't keep it around me because I just know it's not wisdom for me. It'll stall me out bad. So anyway, all right, now better ones, sweetened like stevia, erythritol sweetened chocolate, like Lily's. Okay, so now we'll move into Lily's because now we're getting better with our choices, right? It has a lower glycemic impact than would the Lints. Okay, it doesn't have any maltitol in it. This is good news. I hope this is helping somebody. I hope this is helping anybody to go, okay, I can make a shift a little bit. Often sweetened with stevia and erythritol. Now, to be perfectly honest, when you start to, if you think you're going to have like Lily's a little bit every day, again, it's not something I keep in my house. I can't do that. It can still mess with my tummy. It can still increase your cravings. It kind of keeps that sweetness palate alive, right? And like for me, it does cause bloating, and I don't like that. So I don't do a lot. It's a special thought process for me. This is just me, okay? But every now and then you're like, oh, you're just going to celebrate or you're going to a party. And so for me, what I do is I will go and I'll get the Lily's white chocolate bar. And I've talked about that before and maybe keep that in my purse, right? So it's a better ingredients. It's still not metabolically neutral, but okay, whatever. All right. So now we're just going to keep getting better. Okay. Now you can also make almond flour treats at home. And remember, you can do All Day I Dream About Food. She is really good at creating like keto treats. Common in keto baking would be anything that has almond flour in it, right? So almond flour brownies, almond flour cookies, almond flour mug cakes, all of the things, right? Now it's still better, right? Because now we're going up kind of in the chain. Lower carb than wheat, like we're not doing grain, right? So I teach grain-free, sugar-free, legume-free. So we're not doing grain. So almond flour is better. It has, it's higher fat, which can, when overeating, you can easily eat too many calories. But it does have pretty decent fiber. So remember yesterday we talked about fiber. It's like, we don't, when done well, the way that we're eating and like taking care of our gut, like when I talk about the total body reset, when I talk about that, it's like that gut primer. It is helping us with our impacted waste and moving things on, right? We don't want to have to be taking extra fiber if we can get it from our foods and from doing something like that, right? So almonds have decent fiber, but they don't spike your glucose like flour. So that's very good. I think the harder piece is that almonds are very dense and concentrated. You're taking a lot of almonds, making it into a flour. Now it's easy to eat a lot. Like you can almost like binge on almonds because you're eating it in flour form. Does that make sense? And it's so easy to overeat. So extremely calorie dense, very easy to overeat, still keeps you in snack mode, although whatever, that's arguably everything. But it can stall fat loss if you're constantly eating almond flour. It can just stall your fat loss. And I have had to really back off of almond flour. This is just me. These are the tweaks that I've made. So like if I'm going to have something with maltitol, very, very rare, not very often. Okay. If I'm going to do almond flour, to be really honest, when I do almond flour, I'm almost always making it for like the group when I'm doing a recipe in the group. It's not a part. It used to be a part of my normal transition snacks. Like I would make mug cakes or whatever. I was always making almond flour treats. Like why wouldn't I, right? Or lots of just nuts in general. And I have had to back off in order to really get the results that I was looking for, because my body was like, you're still a little too insulin resistant there, girlfriend. You got to back off because you're not going to get the results you want. And it's like, so sometimes we have to just tweak and tweak and tweak. And once we embrace that understanding that we're just going to have to tweak a lot, honestly, it's okay. You start to get better at it for yourself. You get better at customizing. But you also, you feel so empowered that you're doing it. So there's a trade-off in there somewhere, right? So just because it's grain-free doesn't mean it's free, all right? So some of the best things that you can do, here we go. Are you ready for some of the best things? I actually recommend you grab a piece of paper and a pen because I am going to give you a couple of things here. Yep, you love Lent, usually just Christmas. I know. We did. We went to the Mall of America at Christmas. We did. And I went to the Lent store. You bet I did. Erythritol and Monkford are the sweetener in Rebel ice cream. Thank you, Patty. There you go. Yeah. And again, Rebel ice cream. Okay. So hallelujah, right? It's amazing. But it's calorie dense because they're making it with real cream. So normally for me, I'm not eating massive amounts. Like, I'm just going to eat cream all day. That doesn't work that way, right? So I'm mindful, it's not, I don't stock it, but I would definitely go get it as a treat, especially if my family is getting together. I think about these things like, okay, fine. We're going to do a bonfire out at my daughter's and they're going to have treats and snacks. I know at some point they're going to pull out the ice cream. They're going to, do all the things. I'm going to grab a pint of Rebel on my way out. let's say. That would be an example of what I would do. And I'm going to stick it in the freezer so that when everybody else is having ice cream, I'm eating right with them. I'm just whatever. Or, okay, everybody's going to go to the movie theater. Like even now this weekend, it would be a treat for me to go grab a little white chocolate Lily's bar and put it in my purse. We go to the movie theater. And what I would probably do is I would eat something sweet like that, but knowing that I'm not going to eat the whole thing because I would have digestive upset. I wouldn't like that. So I'm actually not even going to eat a lot of that. And let's say I don't want to do a lot of snacking on nuts. I actually like snacking on unsweetened coconut flakes. That's me. I like that crunch. I like that chew. It satisfies me and it doesn't have a lot of negative fallout for me. Okay. Because again, I can overeat nuts, but coconut, which I suppose is still a nut, but the meat of the coconut, those unsweetened coconut flakes, to me, they're very satisfying. So what if I took a little bit of coconut flake? I could do some crushed pecans in there and coconut. That makes me happy because I'm a Mounds girl. I'm an Almond Joy girl. I'm not, whatever. You could even put a few chocolate chips in there of Lily's, or Bake Believe is another brand. Hi, Jody. Good to see you. Julie, making heart-shaped cookies today. How do you feel about using coconut palm sugar or monk fruit for the sugar sub? Monk fruit, yes. Coconut palm sugar, no. Because that's just regular sugar, unfortunately. I mean, I understand the concept between, is that maybe a better sugar than corn syrup? Yes, it is, if you're talking about sugars. But sugar is sugar is sugar is sugar is sugar when you are insulin resistant. So monk fruit, yes, yes, yes. Amazing. Oh, did you get the birthday raffle gift and face mask? I'm glad you got it. Yay! You got your prize. I'm so glad. You love pecans. You love coconut. That sounds yummy. I would toast them and really enjoy them. Thank you for sharing that. I'm telling you, I did this for my business conference this last time. I didn't take the time to toast it, but that's the best idea. So you can buy unsweetened coconut. I got mine at regular store here, the regular grocery store. Definitely Trader Joe's sells it. I don't know if Walmart sells unsweetened coconut flakes. Probably do. Lay them out on parchment paper in your oven with and just slow toast with maybe some pecans, like little, because pecan is kind of a sweet nut. So little crushed pecans, and then toast them together. Put them in just a little baggie. You could even add just a few chocolate chips in there if you want that. And I can sit and eat that in a theater. And I'm very happy. And I did that without the toasting part, and I didn't use the chocolate chips either. Because I'm going to be honest, I don't want the digestive upset. I don't like it. I monitor that very much. I don't know why. I don't do well with certain things. I just stay away, because I am not going to sit in a business conference and feel icky. I will do anything to not feel icky in my tummy, and like gurgling and not interested. Bloating, go away, not interested. So I would much rather eliminate everything that gives me any kind of tummy upset. And that way, then I'm just I'll do coconut flakes and then the pecans, and I'll be happy, happy, happy. So there you go. Okay, here we go. Here's a little bit for your pen and paper. Okay, so the best way would be to do custard. You can do cookies, but this was already in my notes. So custard over cookies. Not picking on you. I promise I'm not. Custard over cookies. Now, why custard would win more metabolically? Let's just explain it. This is just knowledge to have, put it under your hat, okay? It doesn't have any flour. It doesn't have any nut flour. It's mostly protein and fat, slow digestion, less glucose impact, and it's really going to make you feel satiated. So custard is as easy as well, here, I'll give you a little bit of a recipe, but you're just literally making little ramekins, putting them in a water bath, sticking them in your oven. Super easy. We did a chocolate custard in the group last month. What's that? I did. Yep. I did that in January. A little bit of a chocolate custard, and making it with the cream worked out better than making it with the coconut milk out of the can. Could have done coconut cream out of a can. But point being that having something like that is really now you're kind of peeling away the things that could be stalling you out. You're peeling away the maltitol, you're peeling away the nut flours, and you're getting yourself and you're positioning yourself to be even just a little tighter. And it's not that you would eat custard all day long because that's super high calories, super high fat, but I'm just saying like you can start to think a little differently as you go on, and you start to like tweak for yourself. And then you are left with little snacks and treats that you actually love. Like I'm a coconut girl, so I'm going to figure out a coconut way. Everybody's got something different that they like. So you could use a can of coconut cream, full fat coconut cream, 3 egg yolks. This is what we made the other day, except for I didn't use the cream. I tried the milk and it just didn't set up right. So now I'm giving you the proper way. A can of full fat coconut cream. You can do like a 1.5 cups of real cream, but that's a lot of dairy for some people. Okay, just saying. 3 egg yolks, 1 to 2 teaspoons cocoa powder. If you're on the replay, just pause. 1 to 2 teaspoons cocoa powder, 1 to 2 teaspoons monk fruit or stevia blend. I like to boost sweetness with a liquid stevia. It's a great way to boost your sweetness. A little bit of salt, a little bit of vanilla. And basically what you're doing is you're heating the coconut cream in a can and in a pot. You're taking the coconut cream as opposed to coconut milk, coconut cream in a can or a 1.5 cups of cream, heating it in a pot, making sure you're not scalding it, right? You're in a separate bowl, you're whisking your yolks, and then you're tempering those yolks, meaning you're taking a little bit of that hot liquid and you're pouring it in slowly to mix into the yolks so the yolks don't curdle. Okay? Because then you can pour the yolks that have the sweetener and the salt, etc., and the cocoa back into the liquid, right? And then at the very end, throw in your vanilla and then put them in little ramekins and have them in a water bath on 325 for like 30 to 40 minutes. Mine definitely was a 40-minute deal, but everybody's a little different, right? My husband was like, thank you for being my wife. He loves it when I make stuff like that for you guys because you just don't have to eat trash. You don't have to go buy sugar-free pudding at Walmart that has tons of chemicals and crap ingredients and trashy sweeteners. And this is not hard, like literally at all. And that is so decadent. It's very rich, very creamy, very satisfying. Okay, so here's a little mini recipe number 2, just to give you something. Give you a little something. Marla, unsweetened coconut flakes are also good with pumpkin seeds. That is a good idea, Marla, because I do grab pumpkin seeds. It's a great alternative to nuts. And I'll grab them like at Costco when I think about it or see them. I actually saw pumpkin seeds. Where was that? Marshall's. I saw pumpkin seeds that roasted and toasted or whatever. So that's a good one. The issue with some of them, doggone it, is that they toss them all with seed oils. So you can get the raw organic ones like at Costco. But anyway, you melt Lily's chocolate, Patty says, add walnuts, and make walnut clusters. Yep, that sounds amazing. Good morning, Marilyn. Good to see you. You'll catch the replay. Fantastic, Marilyn. Fantastic. And before we leave today, I have a really good tip from one of my customers that sent me a text this morning as to how she takes the gut primer. Just telling you. Okay, I forgot about that. All right, so here's another like really mini recipe. A protein ice cream. Okay, without doing any maltitol or anything like that, right? So 1 scoop. Now, I have not made it this way. So I'm giving you a recipe that I haven't tested, okay? So you just do with it what you will. But this I thought was very interesting. 1 scoop of an egg white protein powder. Egg white protein powder. So not whey or pea or whatever. Egg white protein powder. Now I have that in my kitchen because I make the egg white bread. A half a cup of frozen berries because it's unflavored, right? The protein powder is unflavored and it's egg white. Half a cup of frozen berries, and I keep the frozen organic blueberries in my freezer because I can buy them at Costco. 2 tablespoons of Greek yogurt or coconut cream, stevia to taste, and then you blend it up. Now, I think that would be delightful. I also do that with, if you don't have the egg white protein powder, but you have, like I have a whey protein powder, mine is grass-fed with stevia. You can always just, when you're on my website, type in whey, WHEY, like curds and whey. And you'll see the grass-fed whey protein powder. I love the vanilla. I make that with the blueberries frozen. They do have strawberry and they do have chocolate. Strawberry is my least favorite. It's not a bad strawberry. It's just not my favorite. The vanilla is like, oh, I love it so much. But anyway, but again, you can just mix up a nice little ice cream treat that is kind of like more just a frozen treat without ever having to think about pulling out your Ninja Creamy, without even having to have forethought to go to the store and have Rebel or anything like that. And then, you know, when you're using the egg white protein powder or you are using like the whey protein powder that I talk about, you're bringing those calories way down because you're not making it with cream. Just telling you, like you're getting a lot of protein out of the whole thing. Okay. Anyway. And that's really more about metabolic stability, right? So here's your clear, good, better, best chart. Okay. Here's your clear, good, better, best chart. Number 1, level 1, it's kind of inflammatory and deceptive. And I'm not saying I just say I pay really close attention. Maltitol candy, Carb Smart ice cream. That's a very low level. That's not brilliance at all. But it is what it is. Like if you're at somebody's house and they have a bunch of candy available and they do have a Russell Stover, you know, I'll go and I'll sneak a Russell Stover out of my daughter's stash or something. You know what I mean? Just be mindful. Okay. That's level 1. Level 2, you're going up a little bit in the world. You're thinking a little bit better, making better decisions, cleaner, but frequent, you know, maybe not so much frequent use, right? Stevia chocolate and almond flour baking. So Lily bar and almond flour mug cake, kind of on the same level. Lily's and almond flour for different reasons. Like this is not something you just do all the time. So I hope you're kind of assessing your own habits because maybe you thought that keto eating, a good keto eating was eating almond flour all the time and you're wondering why you can't lose a pound. It might be something to pay attention to, okay? Or maybe you are having Lily's chocolate 3-4 times a week and you're like, I should probably change that. And I will tell you that I didn't even bring this up, but I will go to Walmart and I will buy in the baking aisle unsweetened baking chocolate. Unsweetened. And it is a chocolate liqueur. Look on the back, you'll see the ingredients. And I will slice that up and use my own sweetener and melt that into a little bit of butter. And that makes its own, or coconut oil, that makes its own amazing chocolate all by itself. You don't have to go and buy Lily's. You can take it to another level and have full control over the ingredients even better. FYI. Okay. But level 2 is kind of like that Lily's chocolate and then that almond flour mug cake. Okay. Level 3 is where you're getting super strategic with yourself and you're like, okay, I'm going to really rein this in a little bit better. You're going to go protein forward, like a protein forward, frozen sweetness, frozen dessert using some, like organic berries that are frozen or whatever. But now you're going protein forward. You're not doing super high cream or whatever. You're being more like egg white protein powder, whey, like whey protein powder, like I take with stevia, etc. That kind of stuff, right? and things that are more minimally sweet and really whole ingredients. Even if you are doing cream or higher fat, you're doing a custard instead of an almond flour dessert. You're doing something with eggs, egg yolks, and something like that. And you can make it dairy-free by using coconut cream. So there are these different levels, and I feel like most all of us, we stay down on that lowest level because we don't know any different. And so we're grabbing products off of the shelf because they say that they're keto, and we're not recognizing that they might be really high densely, like they might be dense in calories, dense in fat. Like you could buy a keto granola that actually has really decent ingredients, but it's literally all nuts, right? And it tastes amazing. And they even, it's your erythritol and everything's fine, but it's easy to just go like this and eat and eat and eat and eat. So again, those are the types of things that I set aside for when I'm going to go on a business trip, or I know that I need to have a little baggie of something because I'm going to be on an airplane. They will feed me nothing I can eat on an airplane. Ever. Literally ever. They went away from nuts, and now it's every single thing they offer is total trash. Like everybody goes into a sugar coma before they get off the plane because it's all cookies and pretzels and crackers. It's all carbs. So I just choose to have a little baggie of something. Okay. But those are the things that can trip us up if we have them in our house all the time thinking we're doing a good thing. And that can be really frustrating. So instead, go protein forward in your thought process. Go maybe pull back on that almond flour a little bit. Some people have to pull back on the dairy because it could be really stalling them out. And so they are being more like, okay, I'm going to make custard, but I'm going to make it with coconut cream instead of real dairy cream, that kind of stuff. You have to assess yourself. Be the assessor of yourself. What size scoop for the egg white protein powder? Oh my gosh. Would that be 2 tablespoons? What would a scoop be on something like that? In my head, it's like a 1/4 cup because I'm thinking about like a cup of whey protein powder. I would say it's probably going to be about a 1/4 cup, which might be a couple tablespoons. That's a really good question. It's a really good question. Very, very good question. So is this making sense? Are people kind of like is this helping you at all to like put things together? Julie, you're pretty smart, Kirsten. I'm just resourceful. I know how to work around my own stuff. Because listen, you don't fix this right away. That's why I tell you guys, the supplementation, that's the easiest part. That's the easy part, not the hard part. That's why I'm like, you guys, get going with the supplementation. That's actually the easiest piece. The hardest piece is assessing yourself and then finding your little hacks, your tips, and your own tricks for yourself so that you can actually make better progress, because there's just nothing more frustrating than never making any progress. And there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of noise. And in the end, the reason why I always talk about, oh, Shannon, you're getting ready for a funeral and you're late. Oh, Shannon, God bless you. I'm sorry. Always watch a replay. No big deal, right? No big deal. But that's why the acceleration of getting your body to produce a different result is a game changer. And it just is. And so I know that there are people that watch me for a very long time before they ever pull the trigger. And I can respect that because I was the type of person that didn't even believe in supplementation at all. Like, I thought it was all phooey. So I never supplemented. I only took ibuprofen and like Metabolife. And then I took things in high school that were not wise, if you know what I mean. So why I would be skeptical is beyond me, since I wasn't making good decisions like outside of that. That's really whatever. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to what we choose to believe or not believe. So when I talk about the total body reset, this is where when you're when your efforts are not matching your progress. The food piece can be a part of it, which is what we just talked about, but it can also be a part of the fact that you have a really sluggish liver, you have high insulin, and your gut is very inflamed, and you're trying to make progress, but you feel like you're hitting your head against a brick wall. And so that's when I come in and I talk to people about the total body reset, because this is where, like when I showed earlier, that before and after of Terry, this is what Terry has done. And she lost 50 pounds at 62 years old, because she finally got her body to line up with what she wanted for results. And if you will get your insulin down and your liver function up, your body will begin to respond. Now, I understand that not everybody is as fast as they want to be. Some people are like game on. Claudette was really excited about 45 pounds in 5 months. She at 74 years old. That was very exciting for her, right? But there are pieces to this puzzle that only you know. And that it has to do with your medications that you're currently on. It has to do with, I don't mean to be dramatic, but I'm just going to tell you the truth. Sometimes it's trauma in people's lives, and they have trauma that they have to overcome. They have super high inflammation from a lot of meds or a lot of anesthesia or whatever. And so everybody's body is very different. And that's why I really do encourage you to measure yourself and look for the benefits of transformation that have to do with mental clarity and sleeping well, and your anxiety is gone, and your acid reflux is gone. Maybe you're actually pooping every single day. These are huge pieces of your puzzle that precede the changing of sizes. I was very, very slow. And I know that doesn't, really, it's not a good way to share products with people, but it's just where I was very entrenched in mind. My mind needed to have a turnaround because I was so indoctrinated by action and by role modeling to myself when I was growing up, that food was something you ate when you were really, really happy and you were celebrating, but it was equally as important when you were like sad and mourning. And then I feel like over time, because that anxiety came in my 40s, and I didn't recognize that as a sign of insulin resistance or anything, you just start to compensate for that anxiety because you want it to go away. You don't know where it's coming from. And so you start to eat because you're anxious, right? And so I can tend to be a gum chewer. Like if I have a lot more cortisol in my body, which is why the ashwagandha and the magnesium duo has literally changed my sleeping life. Oh my goodness, because I run higher cortisol. So I can chew gum a lot because I'm thinking. It's almost like it helps me to think when I'm getting stuff done, right? Well, it is better to chew gum than to eat, right? That's for sure. But it's just habit. It's habitual. So if you're looking to accelerate, if you're looking to speed up your process a little bit, you feel like you're looking spring, summer right in the eyes, then this is what I would wholeheartedly recommend. And it is the total body reset, right? Patty, you're so sweet. She says, Kirsten, your knowledge is a godsend to all of us. You are so sweet. Oh, this is awesome. Shannon says she's been on the total body reset for 1 week. It's been a week. Her rings, her engagement, and her wedding band are sliding around and not tight. So you're noticing the decrease in inflammation. It's fantastic. I'm telling you, when you start to feel better, you're just like, what can't I accomplish? I just in my head all day long, I'm like, I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful because I can do life. So when I started out, I started with these three right here. And remember, this one is being discontinued in April. I just want to make sure everybody has that information. The glucose one is being discontinued in April. So grab an extra 1, 2, or whatever you feel like you want to have on hand. They are reformulating. I will have to find something to offer in the meantime from another line or something. Okay. I'm just going to have to source things for you. I've done this before with magnesium. So this is going to go away, but I started with these three: sugar, insulin, liver, and metabolism. Okay. And that's all I did for a long time because I didn't have anything else to add in there. And this is where you get a lot of help with, because you're getting that liver, especially this liver one right here. If you can get your liver flowing again, you'd be shocked at how your body begins to respond. So 3 out of the 6 things I'm going to show you actually are for your liver. This is one of them. And then the green gut primer, which is a gastrointestinal primer. This is the tip that I got today from one of my customers. She texted me this morning, and she's been with me so long that, oh, never mind, doesn't matter. I just love that people text me like that. So green tea, turmeric-y, gingery. It's all off of organic farms. I put it in cold water, take it like a shot, like a wellness shot. This is what she does, though. She has started to add this to, did she say a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar? Here, I'm going to read it to you. It's right here on my phone. I've started adding it to a tablespoon of Bragg's apple cider vinegar and cold water. The amount I generally take, I keep my apple cider vinegar in the fridge. It's been, the apple cider vinegar, it's much more tolerable. It works well with the fermented greens because these are already fermented. She said, I just thought, just a thought for other people. So I thought that was a really great tip. So for any of you that are already doing apple cider vinegar, she's adding it right in there. She's taking a little bit of cold water, a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. They're both probably out of her fridge. And then she's adding in her scoop of gut primer and mixing it up. This does mix actually very easily. I use a frother, but to be really honest, many times I've used literally a coffee stir stick in a hotel room. It's not a grainy, it's not chalky, it's not any of that. It disintegrates very easily. So this is 6 different blends. This is a done for you gut product. Like, it's very comprehensive. The greens are already fermented. You already have the pre and the postbiotics and your digestive enzymes, everything you're needing so that you can help your liver, the inflammation in your gut to come down, the nutrient absorption to increase, because we have a lot of leaky gut because of our insulin resistance, things like that. So this is very comprehensive. This would be the 4th product. The 5th product is the probiotic, the 5 strains that are alive. You put them on your tongue. Or you can sprinkle them on cold food. You could mix it right in, very tasteless. If anything, it tastes like the bottom of a cereal bag, but you can put it on cold food, just not hot food. And then the last piece is the orange pixie stick, again, for your liver. So liver, this one, liver, and then the liver tablet. So 3 out of the 6 things are already for your liver, which is huge. This one is targeting your visceral fat. Like, it was specifically designed to target visceral fat. It's not an afterthought. It's literally what it's designed for, so that it can begin to help you change your body composition. What does that mean? That means that your body composition starts to change because you start to lose inches under your bra, in your waist, in your hips. This was the sports nutrition line. So this tastes like orange candy. Put it on your tongue, do 90 days on, 30 days off. That is the total body reset. And the beautiful part about it is that you can actually earn cash back for being a registered customer. You can, when you purchase $150 or more 3 months in a row, you'll get $75 off that 3rd month. You'll also get free shipping every time you order. At that level, you'll literally be able to do a 90-day round, and then a 90-day round, and then a 90-day round. And you can actually watch your life get better and better, in my opinion, and according to your testimonies, over time as you're turning your ship around. Okay, you're turning your ship around. I know Patty started her journey last June. Patty, how much have you lost so far? I really would like to know. You cannot get it in New Zealand, Denise. You have no idea. If I could sell in Australia and New Zealand, It's just that it's not available. I was recently talking to somebody from Australia. She's worked very hard to try to find products. She said, she literally texted this to me. She's dissected the ingredients in the gut primer and she has searched in Australia. And she texted, I should have had it available for you. I should have screenshotted it. I don't think I can find it fast enough for it to really be helpful to you. But she basically said, there's nothing like it. I cannot believe what is in that product. Like there's nothing like it. I can't find it. I'm like, I know. Because it's really stunning. It's not a shallow product. It's very comprehensive. It's very deep. And it's all off of organic farms. And it's all, I mean, it is quite the formula. Just saying. But anyway, you love the berry electrolyte powder you mix with the green. Shannon, are you talking about the aminos or are you buying a different electrolyte powder? Are you talking about one from me? Tell me that. Pat, let me tell you. Pat wants to know. Okay, hold on. Did I miss something? Oh, yep, helping your liver. Yep. Okay, so here, I'm going to do this for you, Pat. So my website is kirstenliebelt.com. It is my first and last name. And so I just put it right on the front page there for you, Pat. For Instagram, it's right here. However, if you're on Instagram, you're special, you're highly favored, you're blessed and highly favored. All you have to do is put TBR in the comments. If you're on Instagram, you can do it on Facebook and then I will come off and get you the information. So you don't have to go searching for it. You can put TBR, Total Body Reset, in the comments and I will help you. But you guys will have like my little bot friend will give you information immediately. So there's no delay. People kind of want things a little more instantaneously. So that works well. Oh man, it just came off. Don't do that. There we go. Okay. It was on a timer. Sorry about that. So my website is my first and last name.com, kirstenliebelt.com. It's very minimalistic. I have a very minimalistic website, very short, but it packs a punch. So my face is right here. The Total Body Reset is the second button right there. It's right in between. The third button, it doesn't matter. Second button is the Total Body Reset. Then if you scroll like this, you'll see some of my Amazon things, etc. Here's a bunch of free resources right here, including a couple recipes. Is the custard on there? The egg custard is on there. So there you go. That's a good option for this Valentine's Day for you. It's a chocolate egg custard. So the bottom section is my contact information and my YouTube information. The middle section are all of my free resources. The top section is the Total Body Reset and my Amazon and like Thrive Organic Market, etc. Okay, so there you go. So 3 little mini sections, that's it. Really easy to contact me. For the person who wants, like I went through this in about 2.5 minutes. For the person who's like, seriously, like that was like over my head, like I'm not tracking, go to the Total Body Reset, the middle button right there. Okay. The cart is there with everything. There's a free protein blueprint right here. There's a 9-minute video of me explaining what I just explained to you so you can actually ingest it. Okay. Because some of us are researchers. Some of us are, it's like having a green personality. What else is it called? Okay. So colors, it would be green. Maybe melancholy. Is that the name that I'm thinking? But anyway, people want maybe more well-rounded understanding. Okay. So that's that. If you're like a reader and you're like, I want to understand more, like I just came across your content, I really don't know much about you, down here, this is all my story right there. And I know you can't see that hardly at all, but there is typing back there. And then there's a few testimonies there. But some of you, you want to know my story. You want to understand why the heck do I do this Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central. Some of you are like, you went through that so fast. Like, lady, you talk really fast. What are you, from Minnesota? Yes, I am. And so there's a little 9-minute breakdown. Some of you are like, I want to see the ingredients. I just want to know the ingredients. Then click on this and there's a cart. All 6 pieces are right there. You can look at every single one. Everything is third-party tested, and everything comes off of organic farms. I mean, honestly, it's why you guys get the results that you get. There's no question in my mind. I know that people try to match this in other ways. I get it. And then they don't get the results. I understand. I've been doing this for 15 years. It's not my first rodeo. I've seen products come and go that don't get the same results. These are things that I sourced for me. For me, okay? When I was a 2X in size at the beginning of my 50s, and I was pre-diabetic by diagnosis. My dad had already died from type 2 diabetes. I was gestational diabetic at 22 years old. I had him a week before my 23rd birthday. I was gestational diabetic. He was 9 pounds, 13 ounces. That was a traumatic birth. I digress. And then I did nothing for 30 years. Okay. But eventually I was able to lose 3 sizes in my 50s. And the most important sentence, if you've been with me for a while, you know what the most important sentence is. And I've kept it off. And I've never done that ever before in my life. Ever. So if you're looking for a key, I want you 5 years from now to say, whatever happened to that Kirsten lady? She taught me how to deal with my liver, my gut, my insulin. She taught me those little tips and tricks on how to eat and how to tweak my food. In the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women, every month we do a 5-day free challenge. So daily we gather here. This is your process. This is a completely free process. The only thing that is not free in everything that I talk to you about is if you go to my Amazon site and you want to buy a vibration plate or something like that, they're not giving them away for free on Amazon. I'm really sorry. They're not giving you away my red light therapy that I like so much, that I use literally every day. We've been getting up in the mornings, my husband and I, and we've been doing this marriage devotional together. It's a 40-day devotional. He's been in Christian radio for 42 years. So he got this devotional. He's like, let's do this. I said, yeah, that's great. So we get up in the morning and I'm like, to turn on my red light therapy. I have a little red light therapy. It's not very big. And I have it sitting down on top of my vibration plate, and I don't turn on my vibration plate. It's just sitting there. And I put my feet on it for like 15 minutes while we're doing our devotional. It warms up my feet. And then I'm getting red light therapy in my body and whatever. So none of that is free, and the supplements aren't free either. So that's what's going to cost you. But what won't cost you is daily, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. right here. You're here right now, and nothing's charging your account. Every single month for the last 2.5 years, a free 5-day challenge inside of the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. That is where you search it up, put in your email, tell them Kirsten sent you. The replays are there from last week's challenge. We'll do another one in March. And I will go through food ingredient trade outs. I will give you a tour of my pantry and my refrigerator. And then be forward thinking. This is like your first 90-day round. This is like a great basic bundle. Such a great basic bundle. It doesn't mean that you don't, as you learn more about how to help your sleep, you don't add on, or as you learn more about, like Shannon, I probably asked her that question. Let me see here. Hi, Nancy. Hold on. I'm going to read that in 2 seconds. Okay, perfect. So it's just a different electrolyte. That's not a problem. So she was saying, you're fine, Shannon. You're totally fine. So she was saying, berry, I talk about like I've got my berry aminos and things like that. It doesn't mean that you don't add on according to what you need for your own body, whatever. This is a great basic bundle, but then do 90 days. Get yourself a measuring tape, measure your underneath your boob, your waist, your hips, etc. When you are a registered customer, you're going to get on my VIP texting thread. It's going to tell you exactly how to take the products. You can text me anytime. I chat with many of you. There are times I've gotten on the phone with some of you that have been like, I need to recalibrate, or I stopped taking the supplements, and that was literally the only thing that ever helped me in this area, and I need to come back again. Can we talk? This literally just happened a few weeks ago. Yes, let's recalibrate. Let's see what was the hitch in your giddy up, and then let's move forward, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I think people are asking good questions. Nancy, hi. How do you eat when you're on the total body reset? I teach everything through the lens of insulin resistance. So it's grain-free, sugar-free, and legume-free. But it's very important for you to understand that I'm Italian. So what that means is that I'm still a foodie. And I've had to walk that journey with myself. So that's why I do the challenge, because I will teach food ingredient trade outs and show you my actual kitchen. And then we'll do a recipe and all of the good things. So that is every month. The next one is going to be Monday, March 2nd, the week of March 2nd. And I will go live. I'll still be live here at 11 a.m. Central, but then I'll just additionally be live in the group at 1 p.m. Central, and the replays will be there. So never freak out. Replays are always available. And we will do one challenge at a time. Terry, I told you, Terry, she's done like 20 of them. She's literally done 20 or 21 of them. This is Terry, who at 62 last year, over 8 months, she lost like 50 pounds, but now she's kept it off for over a year. Okay. Because now she understands. She's got the key. She got the keys: liver, gut, and insulin. Okay. And so she tweaked her food. She actually started with her food. And then she came across my content and saw me doing exactly what I did with you, with talking about the total body reset. And she's like, okay, I'm going to add that to my regimen, to my routine. And she did. And then she went, bam, and weighs less than she did 30 years ago. But if you have more questions, let me know. This is the first time you've tuned in. How do you get the total body? I already explained that, but let me show you, Nancy, just in case. Right? Just in case, because I don't know at what time I said something. So there's my website, kirstenliebelt.com. The second button is the total body reset. However, you might be like, listen, I actually want to ask you a few questions. Message me in Messenger. If you're on Instagram, you can just put TBR and it will come directly to you right away. But you can message me, contact me. A confused mind does nothing. So if you walk away today and you're like, I still don't get it, like this doesn't make sense to me, then you're going to do nothing. And you're going to hit the middle of May, which is 90 days from now, and you're not going to be any better off than you are right now. And I do mean better off, not just with your weight. That's a happy thing. I'm happy. I'm happy that I lost 3 sizes in my 50s and kept it off. I'm happy that Terry lost 50 pounds. I'm very, very happy about that. But the things that really float my boat and get me excited are when people tell me that they have been able to get off of medications, that they have an MRI that went from a bad fatty liver to a mild fatty liver. Those are the things that really get me excited, because your weight will come. The weight will come off. There it is. Oh my goodness. That was a hard fought whatever. So for instance, I'll just give you an example. 90 days on the total body reset. Lost 20 pounds. These are testimonies that are from people, from you, that I put together on a template. Okay. What I'm trying to say by that, when I say that to you, what I mean by that is, okay, so if you see an ad, okay, you see an ad for, let's see, I'm trying not to like throw anybody under the bus, or I'm not trying to use proprietary names. I got to be careful. Maybe. I don't even know if I do, but let's say you see an ad for a program that's called, Fernie Gregg. Fernie Gregg. It's a weight loss program. Okay. And, there's a celebrity on this weight loss program, and she's like, oh my gosh, Fernie Gregg is the greatest program ever on the face of the planet. And I've lost 42,000 pounds. And I look like I'm 32 now instead of 62, right? Okay. This is what we normally see. I'm the complete opposite of that. This is not a prepackaged program. This is me sourcing products for you. I'm certainly not a celebrity. I'm not even an influencer. Maybe I influence my people to eat better. Okay, then I'm an influencer. I influence people to maybe make a better choice of food. But I'm certainly not a celebrity, right? So this is me. I'm just telling you, like, okay, I sourced to this, and then I sourced to this, and then I sourced to this. So these are some of the results. 90 days, lost 20 pounds, 3 inches from her bust, 2 from her waist, 2.5 off her hips. Another one, under 60 days, 22 pounds, sleeping better, clothes fit more comfortably. Another one, 90 days, A1C, because this is not just about weight all the time, although she did lose some weight. A1C, 6.5 down to a 5.1. Does anybody want maybe a better lab when they go in? Does anybody want maybe to work with your medical provider to get off of meds? Because I'm not a doctor, right? So I don't help you get off of meds, but I've had so many of you get off of so many meds. It's amazing. Fires me up. A1C, 6.5 down to a 5.1, lost 16 pounds. So this is a very full, well-rounded thought process. Okay, so content daily, content monthly, 90-day round, 90-day reset, do it in rounds. And I'm just telling you, walk your way, walk your journey right out. Just walk out your journey. Permission for your journey, walk it out. Any questions? How are we doing? Oh, that's right. So Marla told me that when I talk, my closed captioning covers my website. Thank you, Marla, for doing that. I don't see it when I go back and look at my replays, so it must be happening when we're live. Doggone it. Hold on. You're welcome, Pat. You're welcome. And I can do this too. I can hold this up. This is my website right there. But we've been here online, like what we are doing right now. I'm going to wrap up. We've been doing this for 2 years, this month, February. And then the challenge has been 2.5 years. So this has a lot of, I spread it locally and now spread it to you. And what a blessing. What a blessing to help people. I think that getting cash off every 3 months has been very beneficial for you guys. That customer campaign, that customer program has saved many of you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And it's already not a bundle that is, like sometimes you start a program and because it's all prepackaged food and you're supposed to like pick this bar and then pick this frozen this and then pick this stop, right? And it's thousands of dollars or, $1,200 a month for a program, or it's just my opinion, right? So I'm just one person with one opinion that says I had zero interest in eating prepackaged foods and putting together this little bag of snacky chips with this little bar, with this little frozen water. I didn't want to do any of that. I wanted real food because I think I knew internally, and I'm going to tell you that this goes back a long ways with me. I remember being early 90s. This is crazy. Early 90s. No, sorry. This is going to be late 90s. Late 90s. We moved back from the Black Hills of South Dakota. We came back to Minnesota. And because of my husband's job, his radio job. And we were living in my mother's basement for like 6 months while we were doing a real estate transaction. We're buying our 20-acre hobby farm at the time. And I remember living downstairs with a very teeny tiny little makeshift kitchen in a rambler. Like in Minnesota, we have basements. Okay. So in a basement, not a lot of windows, like at all, little teeny tiny kitchen, primarily eating like with a microwave. It had a stove, but you know what I'm saying. And I remember going to the store and buying a lot of smart ones. Now, I wasn't on the program or anything like that, but I was just trying to somehow figure out, like, how can I like make a better choice? I mean, that was literally what was in my head. And I remember doing it for about a week. I did it for about a week and I went, this just does not seem like total wisdom to me. Like frozen, prepackaged, like chemical food. Like, I'm not going to do this. And it does come from my mother, because even though we ate a lot of food for all the wrong reasons, my mother was still a home ec teacher that cooked from scratch. So we did not have a pantry full of cake mixes. So there were some parts of my childhood that were still in my head, but I knew I didn't want that. I knew I wanted to just learn how to eat real food. Just how can I eat real food? So that's where this comes from for me. So I personally will never buy a prepackaged food program. It's not for me. And I know that there are many out there just like me. I'm not the only one. And if you're doing something that's working for you and it ain't broke, then don't fix it. And that's perfect. But for somebody who has said, I've tried so many freaking programs. And when I say, but were they created for somebody who was insulin resistant? And you're like, I don't think so. And then all of a sudden you have an aha moment, then maybe this is a path that's exactly for you and your name is on it. That's all I'm saying. So you can't see the product that I'm showing. Are you freaking kidding me? I don't understand, Barb. Tell me more about that. Like if I hold up something, do you guys have captions going across your whole page right here? Like if I do this, you guys are helping me right now. Can you see that? I know you can on Instagram. Yes, you can. Okay. Pat says no. I don't understand, Pat. What are you watching on? Are you watching like on a laptop or a phone or an iPad? Barb says that's better. So maybe I needed to be way up like this. Maybe I was back here. You guys are going to help my program, aren't you? You're going to help my show. So I need to just be up higher. Phone. Okay. So maybe, Pat, maybe it's really encompassing. So Pat, are you saying that? So Jackie says captions are automatically generated on Facebook. Maybe put the banner at the top. I can't change the where the banner goes. I can't change it. Dina. Hi, Dina. You just see the pills, but no banner. Okay, that's interesting. I wonder what size your phone, like, that's interesting. So everybody's different, and that's how you're seeing things. Huh. And I'm looking here, I can't change where the banner goes. I can just create a banner and I can change it out. I can change it out to ditch insulin resistance. I can change it to my name. I can change it to a phone number where you can text me. Look at that. I have a scrolling phone number. I forgot I made that one. That was a long time ago. Look at that. I can say free protein guide. Okay, I just put the ticker on the bottom. It made the banner go up a little bit. Will you please tell me if that helped you just now? Anybody? Because I put a ticker on the bottom. You're on an iPhone 17 Pro Max, Pat, so am I. And it's still that way for you. That's a big screen. Denise, I'm watching from an iPad and I have no captions. Must be a setting you can play with. Fascinating. So is this a closed caption setting? If it's not there for Denise, then it's a setting on your own phone, on your own device. The words you speak cover whatever is on the banner. Pat says, I can see the river. The ticker is so small. Yep. Interesting. Of course, like I'm on my, and isn't this an interesting, like, this is reality. So most people are never on their laptops anymore. Most people are never on their laptops. They are on phones like 90% of the time. That's why when I show you my website, I pull it up on my phone because that's how it's going to look for you. So when I hold up my phone like this and I show you my website, are you able to see that pretty decently? I mean, I know you can on Instagram. Terry says her phone is old. She sees the ticker and the banner. You're on an iPhone 12s. Are you trying to tell me an iPhone 12s is better than the 17 Pro Max, Terry? Is that what we're doing? What the heck? What the heck, Terry? Your 12s does better. That's stinking hilarious. Can I add a .com to my scroll? Still can't see it. So can you add your .com to the scroll? Do you mean to a ticker scroll? This is crazy. Just hold the bottle or the pills up higher, Barb says. Okay, I'm going to remember that. Let me see here on my banners. So my website, I'm going to edit that. Scroll across the bottom. I'm going to make that a scroll here for just a second. Save. Now I'm going to do that. There we go. Now scrolling across the bottom, it says Trio or Total Body Reset, and then KirstenLiebelt.com. Does that help anybody? I don't know that it does. This is interesting though. Thank you for helping me, you guys. Yes, where my phone number is. Tell me if that helps, Marla. Anything held at your neck level can be seen. Thank you, Barb. Terry. You will try on your iPad. Okay, very good. Dina says it's okay. You guys are very helpful for me because seriously, like I actually know that we're going into like a really fresh season right now. I can feel it. Like, I don't know how to say that. Like I can feel it in my spirit. I can sense it. And maybe it's just season changes too. It could be that, but I know that people are really, they're really searching and they're really needing help. Maybe motivated by summer coming, weddings, family reunions, family photographs, wanting to get out, wear less, enjoy more. Maybe it's motivated by that. But I do think that inside of all of us, we are really wanting for that nagging conversation to end in our head. And what I mean by that is when you go to bed and you have worry in your heart or concern because of your labs or because of you just feel like there are no answers and maybe you just feel like there's a lot of noise. I know that there are a lot of people that we are very motivated by weight loss, but yet on the other hand, we're like searching and seeking for that peace of mind. We're chasing the peace. We want the peace so that we can just go, like once you get your blood sugar regulated and you get off of meds, let's say, or now you're not on metformin anymore, or you're not using omeprazole anymore, whatever. Your anxiety is gone. All of a sudden you're like, you can like breathe and enjoy life. And I feel like every time we go into another season, there's this hope There's an opportunity for hope. And so I feel like that's really where we are right now as we are in February. And by the way, February only has 28 days. So if you're normally somebody who makes your monthly order at the end of the month, do it sooner than later, because you don't want to miss your customer campaign and miss out on your $75 cash. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's just hope as we change the season. So now is the time for people to kind of seize on that opportunity a little bit. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Okay, Denise says, how do you know if you are insulin resistant? Are you unwell? Insulin resistance has a lot of different symptoms and signs. And actually, if you go and you look at my my reels that I've done on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever you are, I actually just posted a reel. I'll show you what it looks like. And it's 10 shocking signs of insulin resistance.
You have never, maybe a couple, linked to blood sugar before. If you're super busy right now, don't worry about it.
So there's 10 signs of insulin resistance, but in that particular reel, but I create content like that kind of frequently. So it can be belly fat, fatigue, insomnia, brain fog. If you've already been diagnosed pre-diabetic, diabetic, it's an automatic, but you can be insulin resistant years and even decades before it ever shows up in your sugars. And this is why this conversation is so important, and it is worthy of a daily conversation, because they're not testing your fasting insulin, at least in the United States. They're not. I'm assuming in New Zealand they are not also. And your insulin is a hormone being released by your pancreas to take care of what you're eating. And so when you have high insulin, you have high sugars, potentially over time, but for sure you have high inflammation, and you are blocking fat loss, period, the end, period. So this is why it's stop number one on the weight loss train of conversation. Get your insulin down, get your liver function up, because if your liver is sluggish, you also can't burn fat. That's the conversation in a nutshell. Very easy, simple conversation. It just takes a half a minute to wrap our brains around it, because it's the opposite of what we've been taught. So here in the United States, just to let you know, Denise, we have changed our food pyramid recently, like within the last month. The USDA has come out with a food pyramid that is where we are to focus on animal protein, and so that we can stabilize our blood sugars, and to very much not focus on grains as much. It is the opposite of what we've been taught for the last 50, 60, 70 years in the United States. And we are very obese, and we are very sick, and we are very medicated, and we have a lot of issues. And they're finally starting to turn it around. But do you feel unwell? Yep. You probably feel like trash a lot. You're probably pretty exhausted, and you're like, because your sugars are spiking and crashing and spiking and crashing, and you kind of just feel like crap a lot. You just joined to probably have you say goodbye. You are right. You are right. I am jumping off here. Off to school today, but got busy. You will listen to the replay. Yes, you have an amazing weekend too, Linda. Have an amazing weekend. Enjoy all of the beautiful weathers that we are getting. What you just said, finally an answer, Pat. I'm telling you, this doesn't have to be insanity. We don't have to be crazy women. We don't have to be the crazy people that are dismissed and unheard and constantly shamed for our bodies. Like, stop it. You've been on the Total Body Reset for about 6 weeks, and you are having success. You'll fill me in next week once you get the scale on Monday. Yay, Linda. I hope you're measuring. Measure. Yeah, very sluggish feeling. Yep. That's what happens, because your blood sugars are just not keeping up. Your insulin is not keeping up with your blood sugar, because your insulin is supposed to take that sugar and bring it into your cell and give your cell energy so that your cell can have a party and say, I've got energy, but your cell closed the door. And that is, you are resistant to insulin. And so because of that, it's storing everything as fat. So as fast as you think that you might be having a good day to lose any weight, it's storing it faster than you can keep up because you are resistant. So there you go. All right. I'm going to be back on Monday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I hope to see every single one of you here. I really do. Put a little note on your phone. Jump on in. If you have any questions over the weekend, please, will you make a promise to me that you will not hesitate to reach out and ask me? You might be like, listen, I need a customized cart because I've got this, and this going on. Message me. I'll get you a customized cart. You might be like, hey, Kirsten, this happens to me all the time. Hey, Kirsten, you talked about the aminos or the magnesium and the ashwagandha or whatever, the vitamin D and the omega-3. Will you send me a cart that has this in it? Perfect. I will do that for you. Maybe you're like, I think I want to be a new customer. How do I register? Some of you text me and you say, I'm already a customer. How do I get on auto ship? Because oh my gosh, I know I'm the one. I'm the person who's going to forget to order and I'm going to lose out on the $75. I have that happen too. So you don't have to be on an auto ship to get the $75 off. You don't have to subscribe and save. But a lot of you are like, oh, I don't want to miss out on that. And I ordered last month on the 30th and February only has 28 days. I might be the person to forget. And then I'm not going to get my $75 off in March. So anything you need, just promise me that you'll reach out and I will help you. Okay. So that you can move forward. Oh, for Pete's sake, move forward, right? You have so much hope. You have no idea. So have a really, really amazing weekend, Terry. And I can't wait to hear from you, Linda. And oh my gosh, see you Monday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you for all of the technology help. I will change my ways. So see you later, you guys. Happy Valentine's Day weekend. Have some fun. I can't wait to